Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. Last time we went through the second world of the game, Ice Cream Island, and in this episode we're gonna go ahead and continue on with Level 3 Butter Building. Now I do believe upcoming in this next room will actually give us 2 stones. Yes it will. Good. I wanna go ahead and be careful here. I wanna go ahead and ditch my power. I don't want to grab the stones. I'm actually going to take a hit here. Okay. Now when these 2 stones get near each other, I'm going to go ahead and suck them both up. And let's go ahead and use the roulette to see what we get. UFO. If you suck in 2 stones, let that cycle play out, you get to go ahead and get yourself UFO. So, for those of you who are wondering, how do you get certain abilities? How did you get UFO? Because some people have actually gotten UFO on certain enemies before and actually question it. In fact, my friend Matsop Adventures, when he did a Let's Play this game, he got UFO and he didn't know about this roulette thing until after he did the Let's Play. In fact, not too long after he did that recording. So he was shocked by this, and well, simply put, if you just let the roulette play out and collect 2 stones, that grants you UFO. Simple as that. But World 3 starts our 100% hunting, so whenever you see one of these switches on a level, you want to go ahead and hit it. Whenever you hit these switches, you'll unlock certain things in the hub area, so we just unlocked an arena. Keep that in mind because now, starting with level 3 here, Butter Building, we're going to be seeing those things pop up around each level more and more. And as you've been seeing, whenever we enter a level, the door is red. Whenever we come out, the door is yellow. In order to turn the door yellow, you need to go ahead and collect 100% in the level, which includes these switches. So if you're going for 100% in the game, you need to collect all those switches. So you'll know if you don't find one of those switches in a level if you come out and that door is red. Now I'm hoping this won't happen in the project, but if I ever miss one of those doors, I will just go back into the level and I'll just cut to whenever I can actually find it or get to it. Because some levels actually require you to bring in certain powers, either from another level, or just find it in that level. So, it gets a little annoying, and because of that, it's something that I might actually have to backtrack for. I don't want to if I don't have to, but sometimes stuff just happens, so I'll have to just play it by ear and see what happens. But we have Cutter. I mentioned Cutter, we never actually grabbed it in the first world, but I mentioned it. Essentially, when you're just pressing the attack button, you go ahead and throw this little boomerang that's pretty sharp like a sword. And not one of my more favorite powers in the game, it still can be pretty useful at times. I guess it depends. Some people really like Cutter. I'm not really one of those people who really enjoys the ability. I think it's okay. I guess it depends on the game. In Kirby Superstar, I think the ability is pretty good, but Kirby's Adventure and Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, not so much. But if you come into this room here, this is a completely optional room. You can go ahead and get yourself Wheel from that mini-boss. Like I said, it's completely optional, so you can go through this part of the level without Wheel, but I recommend you go get it anyways, because, well, this level design is built for Wheel. You can do it without Wheel, but it's built for it. So just get Wheel. And I have right here another Wheel. Did not mean to do that. If you suck up an enemy and then a star which has your power, then you'll just get your power back. So, yeah, that's not very that useful. But right here we have ourselves Ice. Ice here. Oh crap! Don't you die on this mini boss of all things. Well, I didn't get to show off Ice that much because I just died. Ice essentially is pretty much the fire version of Freeze. So whenever you press the attack button, you'll just fire out ice from your mouth and whatever's around you will freeze. So just like with the ability Freeze, you can go ahead and attack enemies and then just freeze them to a block of ice to kick it out of enemies. Useful as that. But if you suck in more than one object, you can actually shoot it out as a bigger star. If you collect 2 or more objects and then spit it out with Kirby, he will shoot out a bigger star projectile, which will do more damage to enemies, which is very useful against the mini-bosses, just like I demonstrated earlier. Instead of doing the amount of damage it would normally do, like I just did now, it almost killed this guy in like one shot, so Very, very useful indeed. But with that, we have ourselves in our new ability, Backdrop. Backdrop here, I don't really like Backdrop all too much in my honest opinion. Can I grab an enemy? Thank you! Backdrop, you just grab whatever enemy is in front of you, and then depending on what direction you hold on the D-pad, you throw the enemy in that corresponding direction. Unless you have something in front of you, Backdrop isn't really all that useful, which is why it's one of my least favorite powers in the entire Kirby series. It's a pretty cool and flashy looking ability, but practically, it's not really all that useful. It really isn't. I'm actually going to do that arena probably a little bit later in the level, because right now I don't want to do it Backdrop, and I didn't want to do it earlier without any powers. And of course, I get rid of Backdrop to get Backdrop. No, my luck, that would happen. Well, I guess I get High Jump instead. Didn't want High Jump, I wanted Sword, but I guess the next best thing. I'm gonna go ahead and ditch it for High Jump. What's with me sucking up my own power? I don't want to suck up the same exact thing, that's getting pretty annoying. But in this level, we have a big old labyrinth here. You cannot solve this level if you don't go a certain way. And in all honesty, this is really easy, just because all you gotta do is just go in these doors. This area is just trial and error for you. It's simply just trial and error. There's really not all that much you can really do in this level. There's no switch, so you can just go ahead and just go the top path and clear the level. Simple as that. But now that we have ourselves Sword, I think we should go ahead and check out that arena to see what enemy is there. Whenever I have a chance to, I will be doing the mini-games around here, just because I want to go ahead and show them off, and each arena has a different mini-boss, so it's worth doing this just to show the mini-boss at the very least. So this one here has Wheelie, I see. Okay. Just be careful. Take another hit, apparently. I'll just go ahead and take his power. There we go. We got ourselves Wheel once again. So with that, let's go ahead and check out our museum here. Oh, we have High Jump. I think I'll go ahead and keep Wheel for now, because I just used High Jump in the last level a little bit, and we just got Wheels, so I want to go ahead and use this ability for a little bit longer. As by a little bit longer, I mean more than 5 seconds. Oh, and of course, I have a Meta Knight fight where the wheel power is one of the most useless powers. Okay, well, I'm not going to keep it. I'm just going to go ahead and suck these guys up and spin them out and swallow them whole. These guys don't give you any ability, so whenever you suck them up, it's just, well, extra space in Kirby's stomach. That's about it. It's nothing to Kirby. So I'd rather shoot those guys out instead of suck them in, but I just wanted to demonstrate that you could. Go ahead and grab the Metamato right there and end the level. Very short, simple, and to the point. In fact, that level mainly just had the Meta Knight mini-boss fight, and that was about it. But we have ourselves our third and final type of minigame, actually. Quick Draw. Quick Draw is really good for those people who have very fast reflexes. The second you see these fans appear on the screen, you need to go ahead and press the A button. And since I'm talking at the same time, my concentration, I don't have it. If I'm not talking, I can press the button much faster. Just like so. Your enemies do get faster and faster. You do have to keep that in mind, so your button pressing needs to be very fast. Sometimes you'll go ahead and tie with an enemy, sometimes they will just flat out beat you the next time, even if it was the same amount. So, even though King Dedede and I pressed the button like 17 milliseconds or something like that when the thing appeared, I still failed because, well, King Dedede did it again. So the game will favor him that time. You need to keep that in mind because those quick draw events, they're the hardest events in the game to get extra lives in if your reflexes aren't that good, or if you just don't really have that good of a controller to play this game with. Because if you're playing this game, say, on the Game Boy player and using a GameCube controller, or maybe some other third-party GameCube controller or something, this might not actually work out for you. Well, we had our mini-boss over there. His name is Bonkers. When you kill Bonkers, you get his Hammer ability. Hammer is pretty much like Sword, but it has another effect where whenever you see those little pegs sticking out from the ground, you can use your hammer ability to knock them down. Stone also works on those pegs as well, so it's not just hammer, but just like sword, you can use hammer underwater, and they will put certain blocks underwater that you need hammer to destroy. So keep that in mind. That's a very useful secondary ability that hammer has, and you do want to keep that in mind because one of the later levels will require you to do this if you want to go ahead and get 100%, so you do want to remember this. In this level, you either want to go ahead and grab that laser ability in the very beginning, or just take your time, because they put a lot of crash enemies around you. And those crash enemies will do a lot of damage, so you want to be careful. Luckily, though, they do put a Minimate on those in the next room, because they know a lot of first-time players still take a lot of damage from those crash enemies, so they're kind about it. They're very kind about it. Now I just have to wait for this door to open up. And be careful not to get hit by the cannon. The cannon is another one of those invincible enemies where no matter what you do, you can't kill it. So you need to be careful of that. But in that room we just went through, you need to move fast because those walls around you will close up very fast. And if you don't stay high up and keep on moving, well, you're not going to make it. Just simply put, you're not going to make it. But in here, we have ourselves another new ability. In fact, my least favorite in the entire game, Light. Essentially, when you grab Light, you just shoot off this little light particle, and if you do that in a dark room, it'll light it up. So, it's an extremely, extremely situational power, more than any other power in the entire Kirby series, which is why I don't like that power. Hi, Jump, where'd you go? I want you. Thank you. And in fact, actually, if you guys might have noticed, I was able to see at least on my screen. I don't know about the final video how it's gonna look, but if you're playing this game on a brighter TV, for example, you can actually see where the platforms are. So light becomes really useless when you can actually see where the platforms are. And a lot of people play these older games on emulators nowadays, so if you play this game on an emulator, you'll also see it. You'll also see all those platforms, so yeah, that just made light extremely useless, now didn't it? That's why I say light's extremely situational. If you can actually see where they are, you don't need light, period. And in fact, sometimes they will hide doors behind dark areas, and you need light in order to light up the rooms to see where they are. The thing is about those doors, you can actually get into them no matter if you have light or if you don't have light in the room. It doesn't matter. I always thought you needed light, but turns out you can get in those doors whenever. So that really defeats the purpose of light, now doesn't it? But there we go, we did another one of those air grinding races, and we got first place, giving us another 3 lives. Nice little guessing games for you folks at home. Guess how many lives I'll have by the end of this project, because I might die every once in a while, but I'm not going to be dying all that much. But here we go, we have the boss of this world, Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright. Mr. Bright here will drop these little stars that will hold Cutter, so if you need a new ability, you grab one of the stars and that gives you Cutter. Whenever Mr. Bright's in the sky, he'll shoot down fire at you, so when you grab those stars, it gives you fire. Use those abilities and go ahead and attack these guys as much as you can. And there you go. Both the sun and the moon had just destroyed themselves. Well, we're gonna go ahead and throw off the tides on this planet, but you know what? If the Sonic series forgets about the moon being destroyed, so will Kirby. So let's go ahead and do our victory dance. And with that, that completes Butter Building. And we move on to level 4, Grape Garden. Well, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode here, guys. So, next time on Let's Play Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, we'll continue on with our 4th world in the game, Grape Garden. I'll see you guys next time.